if you're of a certain age, you remember civics class. Apparently, Rhode Island doesn't do that anymore. And one young lady thinks that's wrong. She wants to be prepared to vote, to serve on juries, and involve herself in civic affairs. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. The holiday's just around the corner. Now is the time to order holiday cards for family and friends. This year, you can create custom holiday photo cards quickly, easily, and affordably at simplytoimpress.com. That's simplytoimpress.com. It is your holiday photo card headquarters with thousands of unique Christmas cards and other designs to choose from. And look, it's very simple. All you got to do is upload your family photos and get them on Facebook or Instagram, personalize the text, and you're done. It's that simple. Simplytoimpress.com prints your cards professionally on your choice of premium cardstock in just a few days and rushes them straight to your door. The New York Times Wirecutter named Simply to Impress their favorite custom photo card service. Simply to Impress even offers foil cards and hundreds of great holiday designs for your business as well. Place your order today and to save 30% and get free shipping. Just enter the promo code DEAL, that's DEAL, at the checkout. Save big on holiday photo cards today using promo code DEAL at simplytoimpress.com. That's simplytoimpress.com. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. She got a lawyer, and they filed a class action lawsuit against the state of Rhode Island. The suit claims their constitutional right to complete education is being violated. Joining me now is one of the plaintiffs, Alita Cook, as well as her attorney, Michael Rebell. Alita and Michael, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
So,
Nice
Alita, when did this start? When did you say, this is crazy? I don't know what the hell they teaching us. I want to do something.
Oh, my video's on.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, Alita, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, so when did you, like, when was it where you said, this makes no sense to me? I don't know anything about civics in America.
I guess it all started when my friend introduced me up to the case, and I thought about it, and I was like, man, I really didn't really know civics. So I talked with the lawyers that were on the case, and we talked it over, and I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, I really have to get on this case.
Now, Alita, when did you finish school?
I'm currently a senior at Providence Career Technical Academy, actually.
Okay, so that's a high school?
Yes, it's a high school.
And so you're at that high school, and as you think back, when you were in elementary school, middle school, and your other years of high school, what were you taught? Was there anything about government and politics?
Well, when I took a history class in sophomore year, we learned about current events and, the election and what's going on in other parts of the world. Not really too much on how government works and, on how to pay taxes and economy stuff. So I guess I got a little bit of about the war and stuff like that, but not really about how government runs, different forms of government and stuff like that. But yeah.
Mike, I want to go to you with this lawsuit, filing a class action lawsuit. How many folks have you heard from who want to be involved in this?
Well, we've had meetings all over the state of Rhode Island, and I'd say we've heard from hundreds of people who are really concerned about this. And part of the history and part of the reason we went to Rhode Island is they've tried twice to bring cases in the state Supreme Court complaining about the education system there, huge inequities, especially in schools with high minority and ELL populations. And the legislature's been totally unresponsive. The state Supreme Court was unresponsive. So that's why we started thinking about a federal case. And I've also been looking at this issue from a national perspective. And Rhode Island seemed a good place to bring a test. And then when we went there, people like Alita and many of her colleagues were very receptive. They were saying that, she just put it, they take American history. There's no required civics course in Rhode Island, by the way. and they learn about the wars. And one of the other students says, I know what manifest destiny is from the 19th century. It's got no relationship to my life. They didn't tell me anything about local government, that we could make a difference. You know, we could vote on things that would really matter. We almost gave them a civics lesson in talking about this case. So I think some of these students like Alita have really gotten into it. And she's also quite articulate in saying that she's about to graduate, but she's really doing this for her younger brothers and sisters. And I just think that's great.
Michael, have you seen a similar suit like this anywhere in the country, and has it been successful?
Well, as a matter of fact, you were just talking to folks in Detroit. One of my colleagues, who also is very much involved in education reform, which I've been my whole career, he brought a case in Detroit where the situation, I hate to say this because things are pretty bad in Rhode Island, but it seems to be even worse in Detroit. They've got powerful evidence that the Detroit public schools are basically dysfunctional, that most kids graduate there functionally illiterate. So they brought a federal case, and both of us are relying on Supreme Court precedent from 1973 that said there may be a constitutional right to an adequate education, the kind of education you need to exercise your fundamental rights as a citizen. So that's what we're doing. The Supreme Court left that open. They said there may be a right like that. They didn't deal with it in that 73 case, and they said we may look at this in the future. So given everything that's happening in our country, I think the time is now to say that we can't depend on our politicians. We can't depend on Mitch McConnell and his ilk, the kinds of things you were talking about a few weeks ago. We got to look to our future generation. We got to look to the young people. And if they're going to get involved and take over things, we have some hope for the future, you know. But what they've got to learn is how to have conversations, rational conversations, respectfully with people with different views. They've got to learn how to get accurate information from the internet. They've got to learn how to use social media in a positive way, to have the kinds of discussions you're having tonight and not rant and rave. But those kinds of things are not what they emphasize in the schools.
Right.
So we're looking for a robust definition of the skills you need for citizenship. You need deep knowledge of history and economics. You need critical analytic ability. You need experiences like school government, like visiting local city councils, like getting involved in extracurricular activities where you interact with people from diverse backgrounds. You need to learn democratic values, rule of law, and all. So that's what we're looking for the courts to say is every kid's right to really learn this stuff. The Detroit case, they're emphasizing the importance of literacy, and certainly you can't stress that enough. But I take a little issue there because we get one shot possibly at the U.S. Supreme Court. Right. And if they're going to decide that education for citizenship means sixth grade literacy, well, it's better than nothing. And it may help a lot of kids in Detroit, unfortunately, if they're not even getting that. But on the national scale, you know, we want education to be especially as you will in the high poverty, low income areas where kids like Alita are not getting a fair shake. Give them the kind of we're talking about is going to take
let me ask you this question here. Michael, hold on one second. Lita, got to ask you this here in the final question for you. Your classmates, what are they saying? Are they saying, what are you doing involved in a lawsuit, or do they want to join you?
Well, my classmates, my people in my school are really supportive about me doing this case. They think like, they heard me talk about marches and protests and activism work before, but I guess seeing me like in the New York Times and actually like seeing me on, you know, like through social media and hearing like about this case, they've been really supportive and like really got my back on this one, like saying like, you know, this case can really, you know, pass, like I can really win this case. So I've been getting a lot of positive and feedback from this, and I'm extremely grateful for all the like people who have my back on this, my friends and family, and just like people who have reached out to me on this case. You know, even though I didn't think it would be, I will, you know, become quote unquote famous for this, but I'm just extremely great, humbled, and you know, blessed to get opportunity to speak my mind on this case.
Well, we certainly appreciate you. We certainly appreciate you doing it, Michael. We thank you for being involved in this case as well. We'll be following it to its conclusion. But Lita and Michael, thank you so very much for joining us. Roland Martin Unfiltered.